Hello there. Welcome to my show, COVID-19 update by Heerak for December 15, 2020. Today is Tuesday. It's a good day. I have to confess. At Virginia Hospital Center, they give us like free breakfast, free lunch, and free dinner. So, you know, yeah, it was like really good day because the food is really good. It was all free, and so I had for breakfast at Virginia Hospital Center. Their food is really good. I had let me guess. Let me remember. I had eggs, and I had hash browns, bacon, and grits. Um, yeah. And French toast. It was really good. And for lunch, I had was it roast beef? No, what was it? Roast beef? Yeah, roast beef with like three different sides and a pumpkin pie and like sun-kissed zero, red, orange sun-kissed zero, which is really good. So it's hard to find, but Virginia Hospital Center has one of those machines with like thousands of different, not literally thousands, but a lot of different drink types. So, yeah, it was good. I can see everybody was happy to get their free Virginia Hospital Center Christmas breakfast or lunch. So and I was told that on Christmas Day we will have free meal as well. So it's like, this is great. So, I'm working on Christmas, I'm a nurse, registered nurse. And obviously, people get sick and hurt. And, people get into car accidents or, they have accidents, especially in holidays. They have a lot of accidents, right? Because like, people drink and then they fall, or they hit something, and don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive, but some people do, unfortunately. And so, you know, accidents happen a lot. I think on Christmas Day. I think somebody was telling me a long time ago. Don't quote me on this. They say like Christmas is one of those days. Christmas Eve, like December 24th and December 25th, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, you have the most accidents because people start partying it up really early. Like they start drinking, like they have eggnogs that are spiked. So you may be drinking eggnog like at noon that's spiked. So you may be tipsy like already at noon, on Christmas Eve, And a lot of people have Christmas parties, so a lot of people have Christmas parties, not just on Christmas Day, but like Christmas Eve. And some people start having Christmas parties like on Christmas, like December 23rd, some people December 22nd. Some people have it every night. It's like 12 days of Christmas. Literally, some people have Christmas parties every day of the 12 nights of Christmas. And as I worked hard to shut Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church, and Fairfax County public schools down. So what that means is the cases of COVID are kind of low in Virginia compared to other states where, especially in Northern Virginia now, compared to like Pennsylvania where they open schools everywhere. There are like 10,000 plus cases, a lot of deaths, hundreds of deaths. And so, yeah, I mean, Virginia, I think even has single digit COVID death, over the weekend. Because, like you shut the schools down, and Richmond public schools shut down as well. As you know, I went to a teacher education program in Virginia Union University, which is a historically black college and university's HBCU. So that's where I did my teacher education, and I'm certified licensed teacher in Virginia, Washington D.C., Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina. I'm eligible to be licensed in Georgia, but they had this rule where you have to teach like one day at least. So I'm eligible. My certificate is like will come out. first day I teach in Georgia. So yeah. So I got my teacher education. I was trained as a teacher at Virginia Union University, which is a HBCU university in Richmond, Virginia. And so I mean, you see my impact. Richmond, Virginia public schools all shut down. You know, Arlington, Alexandria Falls Church, and Fairfax County schools public shut down. Washington D.C. public schools, where I taught fifth graders at Summer Elementary School, and before going into Georgetown University for 2 years of full-time nursing studies. District of Columbia public school shut down. Do you see my impact? Wherever I've been, you know, school shut down because they understand where I'm coming from. I want their kids to live, and they understand that. And people know me, obviously. Uh, like my classmates at Virginia Union University, like nearly all of them are teaching in like Richmond Public School or Henrico Public Schools or Chesterfield Public Schools, in that area. Those three school districts have the most. Although some teach in like Petersburg Public Schools where I taught, um, or like they have like other school district, districts, smaller districts around there. Hanover School District, but anyway, yeah. So my impact is pretty wide, and wherever I've been, people kind of listen, which is good. So that kept COVID-19 kind of low because schools that open basically spread COVID. You see what I mean? But the downside of that is because the COVID cases are low, and we had COVID-19 death in single digits over the weekend. Some people want to like have big parties, and so you can bet your two shoes. There are people having big parties in this area in Virginia, in Northern Virginia for Christmas, um, which is kind of a problem. But you know, let me tell you, if you're going to do something social, make sure you get masks for everybody, and get those dividers. Those dividers that you see in McDonald's. That block out, like make sure if you're having dinner, Christmas dinner or, like whatever, make sure you have the divider like in front of you and the other person. So when you speak, all your spit, invisible or visible, are like hitting the plastic shield, you know, that way, you can sit in front of a person, have a conversation. You're just like talking into the plastic, right? Um, while you eat, as long as you have these coverings, you know, uh, I mean, if you're gonna do it anyway, do it safely as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? Ideally, you don't do that, but some of you are gonna do it. Unfortunately, I understand it's Christmas season, it's holiday season, and you want to have fun. Um, but make sure you have like, you buy, spend some money buying those plastic dividers. I mean, you're gonna be using them like for the foreseeable future, next year, maybe even a few more years, maybe even 10 more years. You don't know. So just spend some money on that. And then if you're going to invite somebody for dinner, just make sure you put it in front of you so that you can see each other, but you're kind of eating and talking into the plastic, right? Take precautions. I mean, obviously, I want you to enjoy your Christmas. It's a great holiday, and thankfully, because Heerak and Kim worked hard. Candidate for U.S. Congress in Virginia's 8th District worked hard to close the schools down. In Virginia's 8th District, cases are lower than it is in other places where schools open, right? Um, and so, you're in luck, but, don't abuse that, privilege of having not many cases compared to other states, but, I mean, I understand, some of you want to risk COVID-19 to celebrate Christmas or be with ones you love. It's understandable. We wish and desire during holiday season. How many of you get to see the women beautiful lips like that? Now all the women are wearing like masks, and I mean, who knows what's going on underneath that mask? Some women may have like pimples. Some people may have like rashes. Some women may have developed dermatitis, like or permanent skin condition underneath that mask. Who knows? Some people are working like 8 hours every day underneath that mask. You may develop a skin condition you never had. And skin is in the face is very delicate. So I feel for you, women out there, especially if you're not married. If you're married, who cares? I mean, you should care if things grow. But if your husband loves you and you have a lot of kids together, you know, uh, rashes in your face can weather the storm. But if you're single, it could break the deal. Like break the deal meaning marriage. If you have like, how guys are, they're superficial. They can't see beyond the surface. Um, they say beauty is skin deep, but that's all the guys care about. Guys are so superficial. But I'm a guy too, so so I'm probably like that too. I wouldn't mind having female friends with like all those things growing underneath their mask, but like someone that I want to marry, I probably don't want that unless I'm like madly in love, and I may not care, but I may care because guys are superficial. Like until you get married and seal the deal with a ring, you know, you can break the deal. I mean, it could be a deal breaker. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. For women with delicate faces. But you see this today is wear your pearls day. Yeah, there's a day like that. But the reason like women wear jewelry is to accentuate their beauty, right? So one of the things that jewelry does, it draws the guy's attention to the jewelry, thereby like women are in competition for guys, right? uh in any setting, you want to get the guy you want. You may be competing with like several other women. So women have several resources to work with to get the attention and maybe even win the guy over. And so what are these resources? Hair. You could do hair in a way that it's nice silky hair or nice curly hair. Guys like, well, some guys like curly hair because anything round, like anything circular, like breast or butt, or like curly hair. These things draw attention to the guy. Like circular, big up, big eyes. Remember the song by Jimmy Buffett, Brown Eyed Girl. Like big brown eyes. I like blue eyes, so big blue eyes. These things draw attention to the guy. So, some are natural, some are artificial. There's nothing wrong with, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with enhancing your beauty, right? Uh, getting your hair done, or you know, um, I don't think it's wrong to get breast augmentation, if you want to. I mean, obviously natural is the best, but I mean, but so people exercise or whatever, but anyway, jewelry is one of the ways that you could draw the guy's attention. So, you know, you can have pearls. Pearls draws guys' attention often because it's very white. Even for white people, pearls stick out because it's so white. As you can see in the photo there. So pearls, like, they're all circular, and so it kind of draws the guy's attention. And then guy realizes you're like voluptuous lips. Guys like nice lips. Or you have a beautiful nose. Some guys go for that. Beautiful eyes, beautiful ears, beautiful neck. So like women have these things to work with to draw guys' attention, right? Or clothing, obviously, is another way. Um, so wear your pearls day. It's a significant day because some women marry the love of their life because they wore their favorite pearls, and those pearls drew the attention of and they may be pearls from your mother, they may be pearls from your grandmother, or you may have passed down for hundreds of years. Those pearls grabbed the guy's attention, and he married you, and now you've been married for 40 years. And some of you watching this show can identify with that. You know, uh, the pros clinch the deal. So, it's an art form, right? Because guys are kind of superficial. They like shiny things. Um, and smart women knows how to kind of maneuver through the competition and win. Right? These are the smart women, and generally smart women have like a lot of family members who give them a lot of ideas. Like you have your grandmother, you have your both your grandmothers, your mother, your aunt, you know, your older cousins like giving you like advice on how to accentuate your beauty. Obviously, those become resources for you, and you are at the head of the competition, right? But like if you have a mother who's not really that involved in your life, you may not have all these resources, age old wisdom, to enhance your competitive edge. Because the songs like "Love Is a Battlefield." I don't know if you've heard those songs, right? I mean, you're competing, right? I mean, everything is a competition, right? Guys want to get the beautiful women, so the guys are competing with each other. Women want the best guy that they want, and if there may be several women interested, so everybody's competing, and love, in a sense, for most people, love has the most uh, value, right? Because the woman you marry, ideally, most guys are simple minded. Most guys want to be married for the rest of their life with the woman they marry. They initially, that's how they get, guys are simple, you know? And as long as you're a smart, wise woman, you could hold on to him for the rest of your life, Because guys are very simple. Um, so like smart women can hold on to any man, that they marry, but you need wisdom, age old wisdom to do that too, and so wisdom is important. That's why being close with your grandma and your parents, and that could be important. Although sometimes that could backfire. There are a few exceptions to the rule. There's always exceptions to the rule, But yeah. But anyway, yeah. So it's so today's wear your pros day. That what they say. Every woman. I have a lot of female friends. Um, you know, I'm not married, and sometimes I wonder like I should have married one of my friends because they're beautiful, and I love them as friends, and sometimes I fall in love with them, but a typical guy falls in love with like 100 different women in their lifetime. Um, I think women don't understand that, but women, I think, are deeper than guys. Guys are very superficial. Guys can fall in love with like 1,000 different women in one lifetime, and whichever one of these 1,000 women are clever enough to get him committed to a ring, he will love her with intensity that he would have loved any other of the 1,000 women. And it doesn't sound romantic, maybe, but guys are superficial. Guys are very simple. Guys are not like women. So that's how guys are. Um, that's why you hear stories of guys who've been dating a girl for like 5 years. They've been living with a girl for 3 years. You should be living together before marriage, obviously, according to Christian tradition. Um, but there are guys who've been dating a girl and living together with a girl for like 5 years who break up and end up marrying another girl like 3 months later. Yeah, these things happen all the time because guys are that superficial, and for the guy, he will forget the girl that he lived with for 5 years, like overnight. Maybe not overnight. And he may think about her in passing thought. But guys are really superficial, which is a bad thing because you could have a 5-year relationship and you break up. God will forget you, like, maybe it'll take a few weeks, but many guys will take a day, if they get another girl, they won't even remember. That's how superficial guys are. Um, so yeah, so the way it works is it's unfortunately it's like 99% up to the women to just hold on to the guy because guys are like dogs, they sniff at anything. Um, so it's a horrible situation to be in because guys are so superficial. Um, And unfortunately, like for the marriage to really work, 99% of the work has to be by the women. And I hate to break this to you women, because for those of you out there, you think of marriage as 50-50. It should be. But guys are so superficial. Guys are like dogs sniffing at every female dog passing by. Um, women has to do 99% of the work to hold on to him. Like if he's a good Christian and he believes like you should not get divorced, because in Catholicism you're not supposed to get divorced, then that religion may keep him from sniffing, at other women, other dogs' butt, but other women's butt. But I mean, other women, it sounds bad, like dogs sniffing other dogs. That makes sense. But the knowledge doesn't always work, when you're stretching. But so it's that's the I mean it's sad the guys are so superficial. But yeah, I mean if you see most happy marriages, it's because the women work 99% of the time to keep it together. And that's it's a sad reality, because guys are just like dogs. What can you? I don't know what to say. That's how guys are. And I wish it weren't like that, but guys are like that. You know what I mean? That's how guys are. And the saddest thing is like they could live with a girl, love a girl for 5 years, they could forget her like that in one day. And I don't think girls can do that. I don't know. I'm not a girl, so I can't speak for a girl. But yeah, guys are very superficial. But anyway, yeah, hopefully, if you're single and you're not married, you'll be a smart woman. Get the guy you want. Yeah, I mean, just you make your own luck. Don't wait for the luck to drop by, like drop on you. It's not gonna, it doesn't work that way. Um, yeah, it just guys are so superficial. It's not even funny. But yeah, I mean, I apologize for the whole male gender, but it was like that since beginning of time. It's gonna be like that until the end of time. Yeah, it's sad, but yeah, I told you, like 3,000 people are dying, right? So you see today's figures. In 24 hours, we have 2,867 people have died from COVID. You know, we have 10 days to go for Christmas. I still think we could hit 10,000 deaths by Christmas. I think that can happen, especially if you don't use dividers when you're like having parties. Because it's Christmas season, it's 12 days of Christmas. Like I remember when I was at Cambridge University, I would party every day leading up to Christmas. Every day. It sounds bad. I like the party. You know that song? I like the party. We like the party. you know, I mean, like, I, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I may die of COVID before like June 2021. Who knows, right? You may die of COVID before June 2021. So I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was in Cambridge, these English Christians drink like a fish, and like every Cambridge college has like like I think they have wine cellars where they have wines from like Middle Ages. And then they bring out these wines, and it's like in English people like they drink like fish. Um, yeah. So when I was in Cambridge, I mean, you know, I mean, I guess I should not have, but I did. Like I think the most I drank at a formal hall, we dress up in a tuxedo, women dress up in evening gown. We have these like formal hall 2 or 3 times a week, right? If you want to have them, you could go 2 or 3 times a week. Um, Very James Bond-esque, and I love that about England. So generally, guys bring like one to two bottles of wine to dinner, and drinking age in England is like 18. So everybody from freshman year, like they drink like fish. And so like during this formal hall, guys bring one wine or two wine, and then women generally bring wine too. And most guys drink a bottle at the dinner formal hall. They drink like a bottle or more. Some bring 2 bottles, and then after the dinner, formal hall dinner, they move to the college bar. Every college has a bar, and they serve alcohol because drinking age is 18. And then they drink there. They drink at the college bar for hours when they go to formal hall. And yeah, and then after that, when the college bar closes around, I guess it's like midnight, clubs are open till like, you know, 2 a.m. or so, or no, no, clubs are open till later. The bars, college bar is open till like midnight, and then bars in town are open till 2 a.m. in Cambridge, England. So people move from college bar to the bars. I think that's, I think some bars open till 2. And then you can go to clubs to dance, and I think they're open. Some of them are open like all night long, and you could drink in those bars until like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. or something like that. So, or maybe all night long. I don't remember. So, in a typical formal hall dinner party night, so a typical Cambridge student who's, you know, I would say an average Cambridge student would drink one half bottle to one bottle, but closer to one bottle of wine with dinner, and then move to the college bar, and will generally have about 3 pints of beer, some more, and then they'll go move to like another bar or go straight to a club, and they will have probably 3 to 4 more pints of beer. You know, and they're like dancing it off or whatever. Um, so you know they could hoard their liquor. You know these English people. Um, yeah, so like I was in Cambridge, and I have to confess, you know, I mean, there's no reason lying about it, you know. So when I was, you know, so you know, I went to this college bar, you know, and so I mean, you know, I I drank a bottle of wine over dinner, you know, like with other college guys, you know, like, and then you know I go to the college bar and you know I have like 3 pints or 4 pints of beer, you know, they're pretty big, sometimes 5 pints of beer, and then I go to the club and I have like 4 or 5 pints of beer. So you know, I get a typical night, I would have like 10 pints of beer and like one bottle of wine, sometimes one and a half bottle of wine. Like this is a formal hall, like you know, maybe like once a week. You know, because you're formal hall, you go at least like once a week. But you know, but the way it works in England, if you're an undergraduate, you're like asking yourself, how can they do that and have a hangover next morning? Um, I mean, you know, you don't really have a hangover. I don't remember having a hangover. I don't think I ever had a hangover. I mean, it's like one bottle of wine with a lot of with meal, and then 10 pints of beer, and you like dancing away. I'm dancing like all night long. I don't think I've ever had a hangover. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I don't remember ever having a hangover in England. But you know, I would wake up pretty late. You know, like those nights that I do that. Well, I go to sleep at 5 or whatever, 6 or 7. So I guess that's why I woke up late. Okay, so you know, scratch time. It's not like I slept more than normal times. But the reason why Cambridge University undergraduates could do that is because um, you know um, the reason why Cambridge University students could do that is because generally their whole semester they don't have any exams. Like it's not like America where you have a reading list and you have like all these requirements, right? You have a midterm, you have a final, you have a paper. Geez, you know. I mean, I taught at UCLA and I made them do it, so I know how it is, and I hated grading them. You know, like all like 50 of them. You know, I give a midterm, I have to get ready 50 midterms, 2 classes, 25 each. You know, I mean, it's, maximum number is 20, but everybody wanted to get into my class, so I like signed the, you know, like extra, like we're allowed to give like 5 extra people permission to go over the cap. And I mean, there's like 50 people trying to give it to my class, you know, and they're like begging me, like, please, please let me give it to your class. What are you supposed to do? You know, I'm like a popular teacher, right? So I'm like, you know, like UCLA students are like begging to come in to my class. I mean, I caved in, you know, I like signed off all the extra spaces to the limit, you know, like cap is at 20, you know, and yeah. So I'm like, I have all these work to do. I get paid the same with other people who have like 5 people in their sections because they all want to come to my sections, classes, because I took Western Civ, that was like a requirement class. So like thousands of those classes every semester, taught by different people. But anyway, yeah, so, but in Cambridge and Oxford, the way it works is like you have to hand in one thing. Yeah, at the end of the year. Yeah, as long as you do well on that, you get an A. Yeah, so, and I don't want this like checklist, 1,000 things to check off. I hate that kind of thing. In England, they're like, as long as you do well on the end of the year exam, like paper, it's a paper generally. It's not even a test. It's like a paper. Uh, you get an A. Sometimes they have an exam, but it's like an essay exam. You write an essay for several hours. You get an A. So you can party every day from like September to like April or May, and then like study for 1 month and get an A. And some people do that. I would have loved to go to Cambridge as an undergraduate because that's like my kind of a style. I like to like cram like intensely and get an A. Party hard and have fun. Like 8 months of party, 2 months, was it 6 months of party, 2 months of study, you know. So that's like, that's why I love Cambridge, because it's like they don't like treat you like a high school student. Like American colleges treat you like high school students. Geez, had I known American English colleges like treat you like adults, I would have gone to Oxford or Cambridge as an undergraduate, not to University of Pennsylvania. I mean, I love University of Pennsylvania, but every single college in America treat you like a high school student. Yeah, they have so many requirements. I mean, it's not as bad as high school. It's not like every week. Some schools do make you do stuff every week, but in England, it's like you come and you talk in the seminar, but you're not really graded. Like at the end of the year, you have that one big exam, and that's like your grade. I'm like, man, they treat you like an adult in England. No wonder England was such a great empire. Like they start treating you like an adult, like when you're 18. They don't treat you like a little kid with all those little requirements like busy work. If I had my way, when like if I taught like, when I was teaching at university, like Brown University, if I had my way, I'll just tell them, one paper at the end. If you prove yourself that you can synthesize and give me a fact, show me that you learn, I'll give you an A. You do what you want. Just you want to come to class, great. You don't want to come to class, great. Every single person came to my class because they love me and they want to hear me talk. you know, but I'm like, if you don't want to come, that's okay. So I'm not going to penalize you. It's college. You do what you want. That's like my style. And I'll never have a class in the morning. I like have class like from like 2 to 5. So like if they want to party it up, and then wake up like at 1 and stroll into my class, I'm like, hey, dude, cool, you're here. I'm like, you know, I don't think college students should be treated like little kids. When you're 18, you're 18. Um, and you decide what you want for your life. But American colleges treat you like little kids. Yeah, I don't like it. You know, why do you need all these requirements? And in England they never fail you. Because they're like, if you're good enough to come into our college, we're not going to flunk you. As long as you like applesauce through, right, like a few pages, you're not going to flunk. They never flunk you in English universities. They're like, if you're good enough to come into university, you're good enough to graduate. You may not graduate with straight A's, but you're going to graduate. So nobody flunks out in English universities as long as you come to the exam room one day a year and then you write something. You can applesauce, your way through. You're not going to flunk. Yeah, they never flunk anybody. This is what I call a sign of a great nation, where you cannot flunk out of college. That's what, in my opinion, that's because they have so much confidence in the people that they admitted. They're like, we admitted them, they're good. We're confident in them. We're not going to flunk anyone. That's the confidence that makes a great nation. Like nations that feel the need to flunk students, they have like issues. American universities have neurotic issues. Why do you have to flunk anybody? You're going to accept them. They're good enough to come in. They have these skills. I mean, if they don't graduate, it's your fault. University's fault, not the student's fault. That's how I see it. Um, so that's why America's going down the hill, because there was a time in American history, 100% of the students went to college graduating without any problem. But somehow, as US entered the modern era, like professors became petty, universities became petty, and like graduation rate of like 5% in community college, that's ridiculous. If you're smart enough to get into community college, if you don't graduate, it's the community college's fault. Yes, Dr. Joe Biden, I stand by that statement, because I'm sure Dr. Joe Biden flunked a lot of her community college students. Ooh, I'm Dr. Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden. Ooh, call me Dr. Biden. You're not gonna flunk if you don't like hand in everything, like every class, like in high school. Yes, I'm Dr. Biden. I'm Dr. Joe Biden. You know, um, yeah, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, great nations don't feel the need to flunk you. It's like that in Germany too. Like you could party it up all year, all you want. Like in Germany, like from what I understand, it's like paper. You write a paper. As long as you hand in a paper, you're not gonna flunk. I mean, um, and you could party it up for 8 months. You just like write. If you write an excellent paper in a month, in a day, you get an A, because they don't care how much you work. They just want. They just care about the final product, right? Who cares how much you work? It's how well you work, right? Efficiency. And this is why I like Europe, because Europe treats their children like adults. When they hit 18 or when they hit 16, they're adults. They're not children. But in America, like our educational system sucks. I would say United States education system sucks. I mean, like if you have a chance to go to college, I say go to Europe. Like go to like France, Germany. It's free education. You don't need, there's no tuition. There's no tuition. Like, well, in England, there's tuition. It's expensive in England for non-English people. But like in France, Germany, it's free even for Americans. You know. Um, yeah, I mean, don't go to American university. American universities suck. I'm literally, they suck. I mean, it's not like you get better. It's not like you're much more intelligent going to American university. I mean, geez, half the professors in American universities and top elite universities are Europeans. They got their PhD, they got their bachelor's, master's, PhD in like Europe, like in Italy or Germany or France. These are the people who are top-notch experts in America. Yeah, we recruit them because our universities are not that good, in the long run. So when we say American universities are the best in the world, it's because all these researchers come from like Europe, because we recruit them with a lot of money. Our universities are not able to create many great researchers, unfortunately, American universities. In sciences, we're good, like in MIT, Caltech. But I'm talking about humanities, like literature, history, sociology, psychology. You know, we're not very good compared to like Europe. Yeah, if you're going to study like psychology, history, literature, go to Europe or France or Germany or whatever. Yeah, America sucks. You're not going to learn anything in America. Sorry, everyone. As you know, I am like one of the executive board members, like one of the members of National Council of Teachers of English, which includes all the English professors in the United States of America, including Georgetown, Harvard, Yale. I write blogs, on global citizenship. But I guess I could say this because I'm talking about global citizenship, right? So as global citizen, I'm encouraging you to go to like France or Germany and study literature and politics and psychology and not do it in America. So I guess it's okay, Although, some of my fellow committee members may be pissed off at me because they teach at like universities in America, like University of New Mexico, University of UConn, University of Connecticut. These are they're great, professors. They're experts in their field, leading experts in their field. Um, yeah, sorry. If you're watching this show, they're probably watching this show. I feel bad now. No, but they're good. They're really good researchers. They're amazing. you know. But yeah. But if you yeah, I mean, do what you want. But so when I was in Cambridge, that's why Cambridge students could do this every week. They drink like and they like they do it every week, like 3 times a week, some of them. And they still get straight A's. Yeah, because all you have to do is get A on the final exam, which is like once a year. That's all you have to do. And some people study like 2, 3 weeks and get A. I don't know if you remember Dudley Moore. Like he's like a perpetual drunk. Dudley Moore in that what was that movie? Arthur. Arthur. Watch the movie Arthur from a long time ago, classic. He's a he's a wealthy British noble guy. The title was wealthy. He's always drunk. He probably went to Cambridge. No, no, no. I mean, they're serious. They're smart. Not everybody gets drunk like that every week. Some do, like Arthur. So you do have those, types. But no, there are a lot of serious people who want to learn, and you know, yeah. But yeah, but anyway, so and you could do that in England because you don't drive anywhere. Cambridgeshire, if you've been to Cambridge, England, it's very small. You can walk everywhere. So I mean, you drink, but you're walking home, and it's very safe, 100% safe. Nobody's gonna mug you. Um, you know, but you know, and most like inside the college, like it's like protected. It's like they have like gatekeepers guarding the place. Because it's filled with important people from around the world, royalty and nobility. So some of them just like party in the college. But yeah, I mean, I always ventured out to the hip dance clubs in Cambridge City. But anyway, you know, but they can't do that anymore because of COVID. So I guess that's like old history. So I'm telling you like what used to happen before COVID. Yeah, something that's not going to probably happen for like a decade or 2 decades. What can you say? But anyway, yeah, going back to Bachelor in Poland show. As you know, I have a Bachelor in Poland show that you're watching now, kind of. I was in Poland giving my paper on Jewish studies at the University of Warsaw, and those theologians drink like fish. I mean, all the European theologians, they drink. That's all they do. They drink here, they drink there. They're always drinking. so, so like, yeah, I mean, in Cambridge, it's like that too. Like all the theologians drink. They drink a lot. Uh, you know. Um, but yeah. But anyway, European theologians drink. I'm in European Association for Biblical Studies, and that's where I went annual conference. And I kid you not, at the annual conference of European Association of Biblical Studies, right? We're like all theologians, right? Experts of Jewish studies, and like 80% of them are clergy, Catholic Church or Protestant Church or whatever, different denominations. And they're like drinking like fish, every one of them. Like every like reception has like alcohol, right? Um, and um, and they have this one session at European Association of Biblical Studies in Poland, and they have this one session, and one session, guess what? It was on Polish vodka. Yeah. So we had the president of the Polish Vodka Association come and speak to us, and he is a chief executive officer of the most popular vodka in Poland. So he's the president of the Polish Vodka Association. He talked to us for like 1 hour, giving history of Polish vodka. What does that have to do with theology or Jewish studies? He did like show like some monks making like alcohol in medieval Poland or something. But I mean, you know, I mean, I guess he was trying to link it up a little bit, but he has no theological training. He's a businessman. He's the president of Polish Vodka Association and chief executive officer of like the best vodka in Poland. And I invited him to come and speak for University of Pennsylvania Alumni Association Washington, D.C., and he accepted. And he was going to pay his flight. He was going to pay for his hotels. And he was going to bring like free samples for Washington, D.C. alumni. I had set this up. And then COVID hit. Can you believe that? I mean, he would have given like a free vodka bottle to every Penn alumni, University of Pennsylvania alumni who came to my shindig, Polish vodka shindig. I mean, he's loaded. He's probably a billionaire. So it's a drop in the bucket for him. But yeah, I'm a fun guy. So we were going to have the University of Pennsylvania Alumni Association event of the century. I'm like, man, we have so many boring events. Let's have a fun event. But but yeah, I mean, I had that all set up for like June 2020. Well, not all set up because I was trying to get a nice venue. I was thinking about it having a Penn Biden Center, but then I thought, so I mean, I've been talking to President Todd, about it, and so Penn Biden Center could only fit like 150 people in. So it was a kind of classy place to do it. So I was going to do it there, but yeah. But COVID hit, so and everything shut down in March, so we couldn't have it. Yeah. But anyway, what can you do? Yeah. But anyway, so bachelor in Poland. Yeah. So I like to have fun. So this is in Gdansk. So I'm just like goofing around with a girl that I met in Gdansk, Polish girl. She's pretty, isn't she? She says she's 18. I believe her. I mean, I'm not going to card every woman who says they're 18 in a foreign country. Uh, it's Poland. I mean, I think their age of consent is much lower. You may, but I mean, for me, I go with 18, because I'm American. But by laws of Poland, I mean, I think their age of consent is like 16, maybe lower. But anyway, she says she's 18, so 18 is 18. You know what I mean? So. But anyway, so we're just like having fun, just kind of goofing around. I'm wearing my Savoy Elementary School T-shirt. Yeah, can you see it? Yeah, that's one of my students' design. Like we had a T-shirt design competition, and one of the girls won in fifth grade. So we used her design to create a T-shirt for park. It's a state exam, park exam. It's like end of year exam for students. Um, and so I got my mine. We gave a T-shirt free to everybody because we're like trying to psych the students up to take the exam and do well. And my year, we did really really well. Because I'm such a good teacher. But anyway, yeah, 2,867 people have died in America, which is sad. And yeah. Oh, man, I mean, I wanted to go and see her again in Gdansk, one of the bachelorettes. I'm single. I've never been married. So, hopefully God will send me a, good Christian to marry. Um, you know, but, that's why I did this bachelor in Poland, in 2019, August. Because I'm like, I'm not married, Uh, and Poland is a great country because 100% of the country is Catholic. And most of them are devout Catholics. I'm like, man, you can't go wrong in Poland. They're one of these like devout Catholic girls are pretty, and who wanna like be Christian rest of their lives, go to church and stuff. I mean, it's like a perfect country to have a bachelor in Poland. What do you think I did bachelor in Poland It's like a perfect country, like devout Catholics everywhere. I mean, geez, I mean, you can't. I'm like, I'm in like Christian single guys heaven, Christian guy who wants to worship God, Poland with all these beautiful women who are like ultra conservative, like not all of them, but many of them. Like this is a perfect place to find a wife, Poland. Yeah, that's why I did Bachelor in Poland. Like she's really pretty, she's really cute. Don't you think so? Yeah, and she's 18. Um, she may still be in high school, but and yeah, but 18 is adult, right? But I think that college starts like when you're 19. It's like a year like later than us in America. Like everybody starts college like 17 in America, right? 17, 18. But I think in Poland they start college like in 19. I don't remember, but yeah. So I think that's how it is in Poland. It's like that in England too. They start college like at 19, most of the most majority. Well, there are some exceptions. Um, because they have 13 grades, you know. But anyway, yeah, but yeah, she's nice. Yeah, COVID messed up my bachelor in Poland. What can you say? Um, yeah, but let's go back to COVID-19. So 303,453 people have died so far in America, and we have 16,710,514 cases. So it's less than 5%. We're never going to develop herd immunity. Never. Because, to develop herd immunity, you have to have like something like 60 to 100% catch up. I mean, geez, at this rate, we will not have herd immunity for the next 20, 30 years. And, remember, every year somebody's newly born. So it means we'll never have herd immunity at this rate. Um, yeah. So, so look at top 5 cases in COVID in America. Brazil is number 1 with 6,970,034. And the death is 182,799. Argentina is 1,510,203 cases, 41,204. The percentages are kind of messed up. Sorry about that. I don't know. Sometimes you have like this, like, errors, in typo errors. So yeah, so the percentages are not accurate, but um, no, maybe the percentages are accurate. I don't think the percentage is accurate, but the numbers are accurate. But anyway, Colombia is number 3 with 1,444,646 cases with 39,356. And Mexico is 1,255,974 cases, but death is 114,298. Yeah, it's not 2%, it's more like 10%, right? Um, Peru is number 5, 986,130. And then death are 36,754. Oh, I forgot to tell you, not only did we have free food today at Virginia Hospital Center, they gave us like a snack pack, like really good snack pack. And then they also gave us like a free voucher for like turkey or ham. Yeah, I'm gonna get mine, as soon as I go to shopping. Yeah, like I'm like everybody looks so happy today. All the workers, all the doctors, nurses look so happy. They got all this free stuff. Yeah. Um, yeah, I found out like on Christmas Day they're gonna have free breakfast and lunch too and dinner. So I'm pretty psyched. I'm gonna go early to work, have free breakfast on Christmas Day, and then have free lunch. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. Yeah, I mean, somebody has to work on Christmas, right? Because some of you will get car accident. Hopefully you don't drink, but you know, um, certainly not drink and drive. But you may, hopefully not. And then my unit accepts people directly from emergency room. So if you get into a car accident in the emergency room, you may come to my unit. I may take care of you. I may admit you to Virginia Hospital Center. I hope not. Don't drink and drive. Don't get into a car accident on Christmas. But yeah, I will be working on Christmas Day. So if you do get a car accident or whatever, you come directly to the emergency room through an ambulance. I may be the one who may be admitting you to the Virginia Hospital Center. But yeah. As you know, COVID is getting worse. So I would encourage you to get your elective procedures done ASAP, as soon as possible, because it's going to get worse in January, February, March. Do you remember how many deaths there were in April in New York? That's going to be like that all over America. And if a lot of you are partying it up for Christmas, our January is going to be horrific, especially if you don't use like masks and those plastic dividers, and you know what I mean? If party gets out of hand, January is going to be horrific. So if you need surgery, just get it done now. Like, how you have these surgeries you could get done, but you may want to get it done. Like some hospitals are like, oh, wait till April. Call Virginia Hospital Center. They may be able to squeeze you in like next week or whatever. Check. Doesn't hurt to call or whatever the procedure is. Um, but yeah, so get your procedure done as soon as possible. Sooner the better, because it's only going to get worse. Don't think like, oh, it's going to get better next year. It's not. Even in the summer, it may be bad because we don't know what's going to happen in January, February, March, April, May, June. Like, we don't know. So next summer will may not be like this summer. This summer was pretty good, right? But next summer may be like, maybe bad. So, I would, get your procedure done now. Like, I have a professor who is like, our like small group professor, like, like she's our guide and our shoulder to cry on an RN residency program at Virginia Hospital Center. And she got her surgery done. I guess it was like a knee surgery done at Virginia Hospital Center in December. Yeah. Um, I heard it was a success, so it's great. So I look forward to seeing her again in January. We have like seminars like every month, and yeah, so she's smart. She's getting her elective knee surgery done before it gets bad next year. So that's what I call smart, being smart. Um, yeah, get your elective stuff done now uh, before it gets bad next year. Because right now it's not too bad. All right, in Virginia, thankfully, we're not like Pennsylvania, where things are just horrific right now. So yeah, get your elective stuff done now. If you need to like repair some aortic valve or you have a heart surgery that you need to get it done now because you don't want to wait till like, I mean, you may die if you wait till June. You know what I mean? Get it done now. Then yeah, it's get your elective stuff done now. Yeah, but things are bad, and in Europe they're going into Christmas lockdown. Yeah, yeah. Is that sad? Yeah. Santa will have to drop gifts from the chimney. Can't enter the homes because of COVID-19 lockdown rules in Europe. Yeah. Um, so let's read the first article. Germany to go into national lockdown over Christmas to stem surge in coronavirus cases by Claudia Otto and CNN. Germany will go into a hard national lockdown starting next week and continuing through the Christmas period. German Chancellor Angela Merkel said Sunday, after agreeing to stricter measures with state governments to stem a wave of coronavirus cases. As of next Wednesday, all non-essential shops, services, and schools will close until January 10th. And Christmas Day gatherings will be reduced from 10 people to only 5 from 2 different households. So let's say you and your wife and your child, you can either invite your mother or your husband's mother. You cannot invite both. There's only 2 households. You see how that works? And only 5 people can get together. 5 people. How are you gonna have a Christmas party with 5 people? Think about that. So, like, you may have more than 5 people in your family, like, but it's your family, so it's okay. But if you have like you and your wife and 3 children, you cannot invite anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a pretty hard lockdown. Basically, they don't want anybody to invite anyone else because most families have like what 1 or 2 or 3 children, right? Um, yeah. So this week, Merkel made an impassioned plea for Germans to limit their social contacts ahead of holidays. Despite the country's respected health system, it's free. Healthcare is free in Germany. They don't have any. Well, they have private insurance, but very few. I mean, most of Germans have nationalized healthcare, and unlike Obamacare, which I hate, Obamacare I hate it because private insurance run it, and it's jacking up co-pays and deductibles. But in Germany, private insurance do not run the national healthcare system like Obamacare, which I hate because it keeps jacking up like co-pays. I mean, people who have bills of $1 million for COVID have to co-pay like 200,000. That's not fair. That's because of Obamacare having private insurance. So I totally say destroy Obamacare. Let's do something else. Either have 100% private insurance or get rid of all the private insurance and have like nationalized healthcare without any private middleman, like in Germany. Yeah, those are the 2 options. I don't think there's any blended way to go. Because Obamacare is blended, I think it failed. It's creating healthcare problems like an epic proportion. You know, but Germany has a nationalized care with which is not run by private insurance. Um, so this week, Merkel made an impassioned plea for Germans to limit their social contacts ahead of holidays, despite the country's respected healthcare system and early success in containing the virus. A recent partial lockdown has failed to stop the second wave surge. Second article, Netherlands and Czech Republic to enforce strict Christmas lockdowns. And this is John Henley in The Guardian. The Netherlands, that's the Holland, right? And the Czech Republic, former Czechoslovakia, um, have said they will follow Germany into strict second lockdown over the holiday period, with Italy weighing similar measures to avoid a fresh surge in coronavirus infections over Christmas and New Year. In a rare televised address, the Dutch Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, said non-essential shops and businesses, gyms, museums, cinemas, theaters would close for 5 weeks after the country's 7-day new case average rose by more than 40% in the past week. And the third article, Netherlands to go into strict lockdown for at least 5 weeks, including closing schools. I told you to close schools from September. Had you closed schools from September, you probably don't even have to go into this strict lockdown. Um, yeah, because Netherlands, Germany, they all open schools in September. I'm like, don't open schools. Heerak Christian Kim, candidate for U.S. Congress of Virginia's 8th district, has been telling Germany, Netherlands, France, and England not to open their schools all summer long. They didn't listen. Look at, I mean, I told you this would happen. I told you so, Germany. I told you so, Netherlands. I told you so, England. You should listen to Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century. You don't have to lock down like this right now. But anyway, let's go to the article. The Netherlands will enter a tough second lockdown for at least 5 weeks, the country's prime minister has announced. People in Netherlands have been advised to stay home, not travel to work. They're not even allowed to go to work. Or they're advised not to go to work. All public places, including daycare centers, gyms, museums, zoos, cinemas, hairdressers, and beauty salons will close until 19th of January. Schools will close until 18th of January. I mean, it's a strict lockdown. Yeah, because like this is what Pennsylvania should go into. Pennsylvania is out of control. The whole state of Pennsylvania should follow Netherlands and completely shut down. Seriously. I mean, Pennsylvania is an emergency. Other states too, like Illinois, should completely shut down. There are some states that need to do this to survive COVID, or you're gonna have like over 1 million deaths by June. Um, yeah, I mean, if you don't do this, you're gonna have over 1 million deaths, like state of Illinois, state of Pennsylvania, state of New York. You know, you gotta do this. You have no choice if you want to survive COVID by June. But anyway, I just want to show you what European countries are trying to do to survive COVID, not have over 1 million people die. And this is what I hope Governor Cuomo, I call on you, Governor Cuomo, to shut New York down like Netherlands. That's the way you're going to survive. I call on you, Governor Pritzker in Illinois, to shut Illinois down like Netherlands to survive COVID. I call on you, Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, shut Texas down, you know, or you're going to have like 1 million deaths by June. I call on you, you know, Governor Phil Murphy of New York, New Jersey, to shut New Jersey down like Netherlands if you don't want 1 million deaths by June. I call on you, Governor Tom Wolf, to shut Pennsylvania down. That's like where I grew up. Pennsylvania down like Netherlands. You need to do this to flatten the curve. Be brave, okay? Have guts. Lead your people, you know? That's the only way you're going to survive COVID. Like, so many governors don't have guts to do what it needs to be done to flatten the curve. That's why we're in the mess we're in. Yeah, you need to shut everything down. Like, shut everything down completely until you flatten the curve. Yeah, I'm counting on you, Governor Cuomo, you know, to do the right thing. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, so shout out to Governor Cuomo and all the governors that it's a form of a shout out, no? But anyway, yeah. So I'm glad that you joined this show. I'm gonna give you like important facts and data and analysis that you need to survive COVID, you and your family. So I hope that you will take my advice and survive COVID. Yeah, you know, I don't want you to have a miserable life, but I want you to be alive. You know what I'm saying? I mean, geez, you know, there's time for fun and there's time for life. You know. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, you do what you want. You're not a slave. You do what you want. But you know, you get my point, right? Yeah. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope that you'll be well and that your family will be well too. Um, Bye. Merry Christmas.